Hello and good evening for this Wednesday, August 30th, 2023. We just finished watching episode 12 of Big Brother 25, the week 4 POV episode. But we're just getting started here on Super Mater Brothers podcast, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I'm Dave Mater. Jaemeel Robinson joining me here tonight. How are you doing, Jaemeel?
I'm all right. Sorry for my absence for the last couple of days.
Apologies to the viewers. Yes, we did not broadcast on Sunday. We didn't have enough a crew to man the ship that night. So we're catching up here. Actually, 2 episodes since we last spoken. Yes, but we're I guess tonight's episode focusing on this episode 12, but we're kind of looking at this whole week 4 in general, and looking ahead till tomorrow night in the live eviction between here. Spoilers, of course, from this whole episode and everything so far. We got Jag or Blue going out here on this eviction, Jaemeel. I thought that this was a pretty good episode tonight of the show. I was having fun watching it. How are you feeling about the show and overall and just this tonight and this week?
So Sunday I loved because I love that competition. I love pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker, yeah, you had your pressure cooker back.
Yeah. This episode, a lot of the tropes that I have a problem with Big Brother really came out, which is you're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna explain it again like you didn't see it. Right? Like it's I don't like the layering of the information. It just seems like I just saw it. If I was blind, that'd be perfect. You would be telling me, narrating what happened. But I saw what happened. You don't need to say it again. It's like, I screwed up on this. You see him, like, for example, Red's like, oh man, I hope I did that quick. And then he narrates, I hope I did it quick. I'm like, why did you have to include that line? He's literally repeating what he said in the video that we're seeing right after. It just makes it feel like it's a waste of time. And just show the competition or just show clips of the competition. Don't show me the whole thing if you're gonna narrate it at the same time with this exact same information.
Okay, yeah. Point taken. Tonight, in this particular episode, I guess, yeah, I was not enjoying the retelling of this competition 6 times. Of course, they got shorter with the segments, but that was kind of painful as we get all the versions. The first 2 again kind of explaining to us the rules again and again. So by the time Jag went, I was just like, oh, he still has to go. And then I'm like, is he in this competition? I'm like, yeah, he's on the block. Of course he's here. It's just like, this is taking forever. So that I agree with. Yes.
Ultimately, the problem is I understand having, like, McCole was the first person, so she was our introductory narrator. Right.
She was. I think she was the second person. I think
who's the first person?
Blue? No, it was yeah.
No,
Blue
you're right.
first.
You're right. Blue was the first person. You are absolutely correct. Right? Introductory narrator. Then, because of the way Big Brother kind of like preps people, they talk like, "Oh, I'm by myself." So we'll continue on. I just did this, and I'm gonna narrate it like no one else is seeing it, like they're in a bubble, right? When in actuality, we're seeing what's happening. Like if they were talking like a normal person, if they were just like describing this, like I approached this like I want to do this and this first, that would be different. That would be I would get some insight into how they're competing. Right, and what I'm seeing in front of me, but with this retelling narration bit, it's annoying, and I hate it.
Okay, but that aside, there were some good moments in this episode tonight. I thought that there was the whole a lot of development of some of these people or like these relationships, like Corey and America. There was a lot of Jared and Blue, for better or worse, in this episode. Some other people too, like I guess Jared. Cameron and Red was quite a feature tonight.
The Chillers?
The Chillers. I was like, are they the Killers? No, they're the Chillers, but they're not Chilltown.
It's so terrible. That's a terrible name.
Chillers? I don't think. No, they're okay. And like we can even just break down Cameron and Red in this whole podcast here, Jaemeel, because I think that like their decision not to go after like either Izzy or whoever in this move here, I think was a mistake. I think that them keeping unless they, or at least tell us in the episode, well, we talked about it, but we just didn't think we had the votes, so we didn't want to pull the trigger now. But I didn't feel like there was enough of that.
They did talk about it and they didn't have the votes, but they
Okay,
were going to go after Izzy.
So yeah, of course, and I understood the rationale because from everything Suri is telling us in the diary room, they're going to go after Cameron and Red, especially even after they don't go after them here. Like, it doesn't matter. Suri is like, no, we're coming for you. We don't, your sketch, whatever, etc.
It's they are not playing the same game of Big Brother that everyone else is. They seem to be like totally out of the loop. Them and Bowie just seem totally out there.
Okay, really. Bowie, I don't know what to make of her, quite frankly. She's only talked about in other people's confessionals. She's never really shown in her confessional, unless she's saying good day or and what's going on in Australia. She says when she's voting, like really the most I know about Bowie is when she comes votes.
Yeah, she's a non-factor for the most part. So, but like, it seems like everyone else is on seemingly the same page. Like, I don't know how Suri has had this house like a Pied Piper where no one is really comparing notes to understand. Like, supposedly Jag is aware that Suri is a body that everyone circles around, right? Suri, Felicia, and Izzy, but yet they're completely snowed in terms of like, well, that just means I have to get with Suri. Like the understanding that if everyone's with them, then that means nobody's technically with them should be enough of a revelation to kind of flip this house. But yet everyone just seems completely incapable of mounting any type of defense. It is the like, I'm worried at this point that this might turn into like a bulldoze season in the most like non-threatening way. Like Suri having more sway than Derek, where there isn't really another side of the house. It's just one side of the house, and she just dictates who leaves based upon who isn't HOH.
Well, yeah. What does that remind you of? Like, for me, it's like Big Brother 19 and Paul, when he was like this kind of larger than life house guest compared to the others because he had all this experience, right? And he had played a season before and the rest of them hadn't. Suri hasn't played Big Brother before, but she's like a reality TV kind of icon. She knows her way around this realm, as Jared told us tonight, as he kind of hints to Blue on Suri being his mom. But we'll talk about that too.
So dumb.
He's so
dumb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's maybe like one of the dumbest.
He is. Yes. Yeah. Let's just call it as it is. Before, I think last week I mentioned how unlikable and just such a problem this dude is, and he just finds more ways for me to like. I hope this dude doesn't even sniff jury. Just get rid of him.
Like, he's just not very good. Like, I don't think he would be here, otherwise, right? He just wouldn't have been the cast. So he's kind of like, it's kind of sad. It's more sad, but maybe he's got a showman's in Blue, so good for him, and whatever.
Which is so stupid. It's so stupid.
Okay. So
we'll talk more about. We'll talk more.
We have to talk about that too. We have to. Okay, but we coming back. Okay, Red and Cameron not pulling the trigger here. Do you agree or disagree? Ultimately, I guess they don't have the votes, but they don't show that on the episode. So I guess really my question is, why do you think they left that out of the narrative, or will they just give that to us tomorrow in that episode?
No, I think they're gonna just completely skip by it. Like the idea that they don't have enough votes. Sure, but did they do anything to kind of, motivate people to vote in that direction? Any information that like, or arguments you can provide to maybe even have people think about it? They want to hedge their bets that maybe I can do this move, but I don't want to disrupt the house, so I'm not going to do this move type of thing. And it's just gonna we'll worry about it later. Like, I don't know what they're gonna expect when they're gone. And it's like, we were going to take care of it later. It's like, yeah, you were taken care of before later came. So like,
Right.
It's nonsensical to like. You have to draw a line in the sand. At the very least, that's why they had to get rid of a person like Heisem, because if Heisem put things together, right, he would not dally,
No, he doesn't
whatever,
dilly dally, Heisem.
dilly dally about what he wants to do. It's like Syrian thing is the head of the snake. We need to take it to him, and he could win. Cameron and Red, as skilled as they may be in terms of their ability to win competitions, and they are one of the few people that actually could go out and win these physical competitions, right? I don't think they have the gumption, the cojones to go ahead and say, I'm gonna draw a line in the sand and I'm gonna go directly at whoever I'm gonna attack. Right? Jag and Blue, like majority of the house is gonna be like, oh well, it isn't me.
Yeah, I I get that, and so but this is what you see often in Big Brother is like there is that hesitation to draw that line in the sand, so to speak, to sort of take a shot because the fear is, well, if somebody from that side wins power, then they got us, and they got you anyway here in this particular case because we know more than he does because we're getting to see the DR sessions. So of course we're going, well, what are you doing? But even if you didn't have that information, he is self-aware enough to know that this is a problem. It's this idea of timing. No, I'll wait till later before I'll make a big move. I don't want to make the big move now because if I make the big move now, I won't have longevity. Somebody will come for me. But sometimes you have to make the preemptive strike. So how do you know? How do you know when to do it?
To me, it's very simple, right? Can you work with this person? Do you see that is there ability that you can eventually work on working with this person? If it looks like you cannot work with Izzy and you are at an impasse where like you cannot count on this person at all, then obviously that person has to be your target and you're justified in doing so, right? It's simple as that. You can work with Jag most likely. You're just picking Jag because he's not in Legends 25. That shouldn't necessarily be the end all be all in terms of the reason as to why you would vote someone out. You need to set yourself up with people who you can work with versus people that you seemingly are unable to or unwilling to. So you get rid of those people. Like you have to convince people to pick you at the very end. Is he gonna pick Cameron? I don't think so. At this point, she seems stubborn and bullheaded that she won't vote for Cameron.
Yeah, I can see that. And you of course you're speaking as well to the live feeds and what the some of the stuff that's not really shown in the show because, well, okay, catching up on the Sunday episode and just to kind of come back to what we said earlier because we weren't here talking Sunday, Jaemeel, and we didn't talk on Pressure Cooker night.
The Pressure Cooker competition.
But following that competition, which by the way, on the Pressure Cooker itself. The room wasn't small enough. They needed to feel more claustrophobic. This is for my opinion. But the whole reaction from Izzy, which was shown in this episode tonight.
Your boy did it. Your boy did it. I'm gonna put this back on my bed.
Your boy did it. Not a good move. Not a good game move. Because she's supposed to be working with Cameron, even fakely. So it's just like you're supposed to go, yay, or you don't at least you don't do it in front of other people.
Great job, man. You killed it there. Like that focus, like you could lie, blow the smoke up the people's butts, man. Don't.
Right, because she's in a hurry. Izzy's in a hurry because she doesn't like Cameron and Red. Cameron and Red know this, and so she's like, as soon as she can have a reason for them to take one or two of them out, and go for it, And fair enough, but it's just it's not good social game.
To me, that just shows how bad of a Big Brother player she is. If you like. Suri doesn't give the impression that she doesn't like Cameron and Red. She doesn't like Cameron and Red, or doesn't trust them. But at the very least, Cameron and Red still believe that Suri is trustworthy and they could trust her.
Right. Well, does she not like them, or she just not trust them?
I think she doesn't trust them, but I think initially she I never got the impression that she didn't like them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so I think a lot going on there. Just with Cameron and Red and their place in this particular week in this game. But there was also other moments tonight here. Let's talk about the condoms, Jaemeel. Condom gate here in the Big Brother 25 house. This was a funny moment for Sam, a longtime listener. He's saying, "Did you hear Blue and Jared had sex? Is this a secret?"
That's a very good question. I might have missed it in terms of live feeds, so I don't know.
So you were surprised when this came up in the episode. You're saying this was
Yes.
not necessarily out there.
Like, there was other things that I like. They were fooling around. Jared said some things that he shouldn't have said, I think. But no, unless I absolutely just missed that part.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. Just let's. I got a clip here from a couple clips here from Mama Felicia.
You're looking a little guilty. For safekeeping? Whether it's the veto or some daggone condoms. Everybody in the Big Brother house is looking for some protection.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What like the inflection at the end, I think, is my favorite part of that now. Like, it's just why does it happen?
She seems like many people I know that are like that. They'll say something and they're like, they'll have a reaction to their to their own joke.
They're like, you can start laughing now.
Did you ever see the was it the dad joke? There's like three guys that do dad jokes, and every single time they do a dad joke, they say the punchline and then they go while moving in slow motion.
Sam saying 10 out of 10 for Felicia as a character, and he didn't know that there were condoms in the Big Brother house.
Oh, there always is.
Yes,
there always is.
There always is on the Big Brother house. There's as well on the Survivor set, I would imagine, right?
Yep.
Hey B Bean, long time. When do you start going with the beard? Back in March, I think. B Bean, it's been a little while now.
Welcome back. I always figured that what happens if people start using the condoms for like to use, as cheating device, as a counter, as because we've seen in Big Brother Canada they used M&Ms before.
Yes, well, we've seen different gummy bears used and different things.
What happens if someone figures out an interesting method of using the condoms outside of what they are technically used for?
What is it? What's an example of this? Where are you leading?
I'm not leading you. I'm putting out a hypothetical.
Like water balloon? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, it's water balloon fights. I think Corey would prefer that over.
Is it to smuggle things into the house? Like who was that on? Like Hope last season on Big Brother Canada, who had the thing in his sock, said it's been smuggled in a condom.
Instead of the notes in a condom in his stomach, and he has to
poop it out and then read the note.
Who knows? That's
the girlfriend made him swallow it before he left.
It was in my food. I couldn't control it.
I go to control it, and he just comes it out, and he reads the note, and then he shows it to Zach. Oh, that would have been better. This came out of my butt. Like, well, now everybody has to get a note that comes out of their butt to make it fair, so that Hope can stay in the game. Okay.
That would be fantastic. Big Brother 12 contestants. Think about it.
Yeah, I was thinking about my audition tape for this year. What was I going to put in that? Because I got to give them something that makes me unique. I'm like, here's my plan. I'm going to smuggle a note into the house even better than Hope did. You're not even going to see it coming. How I'm going to do this, and that's going to be my whole gimmick. But you're going to be in on it. I'm going to let you know, but not too early. I'm not going to tell you until audition.
You'll tell me a signal in live feeds I'm watching, and you're like, now's the time, Jaemeel. And then I detail the plan and the manifesto that you have.
Yeah, everything will just come unraveled at that moment. But segueing from the condoms, which another couple was thrown out as a potential user here. America and Corey are they're a showmans, are they?
America's trying hard. America's trying. Corey, on the other hand, he's not. He's not.
Well, I don't know if he has a lot of game here.
He's focused on the game. He does not want to get sidetracked with it. Plus, at the same time, he's 21 and she's like 27 or he's like, I have to focus on school. I'm not.
You should audition, Sam. Why not? I'm going to audition, so do it. Yeah. Okay, but back to America and Corey. America and Corey in bed. Yeah.
Sam, you got nothing to worry about with Corey.
No condoms, wet wipes. What's that? What? Wet wipes. This is getting graphic. Okay, but here, but Corey told his big secret here, Jaemeel. Let's watch the clip.
I don't know if now's the time, but do you want my secret?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My brother survived.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he got 17th place. he was voted out first.
You're already doing better than him.
My brother Zach was not a legend of Survivor, but I am hiding it because it could be really useful to me.
Useful how, Jaemeel?
That he could tell a secret. He wanted to wait till finale night to be like, my secret, my brother played Survivor.
My brother came 17th place on Survivor 43 or something.
The next question would be, Suri goes, what? How far did he go? What season was he in? Oh, no, he was after you. He got last place.
Corey was on a podcast with Sister Nino, and he was like, there's no way Suri knows who I am. So there's no way that this would have any Suri would not care that his brother was even had won that season, but he definitely had
even Izzy the super fan is like, who is this man? No clue.
Yeah, Corey. Okay, I drafted Corey. I had number 2 pick. I took Corey. Jared was at number 1. So we were kind of. This is how it tends to go in the draft, where we draft a lot of the duds in the high round, and a lot of the actual people who get picked last end up going far. That seems to be often the trend. But yeah, Corey has really been a letdown here in this.
No, I don't think so. Is Corey up for eviction? Is Corey a target?
No.
Not necessarily. I think he's doing well. But I think that we all know that a culling is going to be coming, right? And the chickens are going to come home to roost when it comes to Suri. Who's going to be who's going to feel the brunt of that? It might be Jared. It might be Izzy. It might be Felicia. It might be Suri herself. But there's going to be some structure left over for when that eventual mic drops, that eventual situation drops. And Corey's going to be right there to be able to work with whoever is left over in that remain. He's done a good enough job to earn that trust. Plus, he has America. Plus, he has a good portion of people that trust him, right? So he has been putting in work where he has actually been right in the middle, not Red and Cameron. So be proud of your pick.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. I'm not feeling like he's winner potential yet. That's all I'm saying.
Which is good for him in terms of, does he want to feel like winner potential?
I guess not. I guess no. You want to be under the radar, but
you want to peak at the right time.
But from
what I
I
mean.
guess you want to peak at the right time. He's not peaking yet, so it's not the time.
So
This
it's
is not
good.
this is not the right time.
Look, ultimately, you want a situation where can I foresee people voting for this man to win?
Exactly.
And I can see that with Corey. I don't see that with Jared at all. I don't see that with Jared at all.
I'm not sure what BB means there, but maybe Zach. Which Zach?
Zach. They're talking about Corey's brother Zach. Will he become Sesternino 2.0? BB, you're incorrect because Dave Mader here is going to be Sesternino.
I'm like Sister Nino, like prototype more.
Yes,
so not 2.0.
And then we already know who the first lady, the new first lady of podcasting will be, right?
It'll be Jane.
Yeah, so, Jane. Yeah. Right, and then we'll have the the brother, the cool brother, Jeff.
Yeah,
with his hats.
He's got different hats for different outfits.
Yeah.
Sam's asking, does America feel like winner potential? I would have to say not really, although she went to Brown and she's an Ivy League genius or something.
So America, the thing about America and what people generally feel about her is that she's really smart. She's really sociable. She's, has the tools, right? But for whatever reason, it hasn't clicked. Right? Hasn't clicked at all. People were saying the exact same with Jag, he's very social. He seems to be able to win competitions, or at least good at competitions. And he has a good social skill, good sense of the game. But for whatever reason, he is completely snowed by Saray. And that's just, if you're a rookie and you're playing against, one of the greatest of all time in reality television, you're at a disadvantage that very few can overcome. So don't think poorly of America, but she is right now not doing so well. But
do you agree with this comment that America is blinded by Corey?
She's currently being saved by Corey.
She saved him. She made the deal to save him this week.
They were going after Corey.
Well,
they were never going after Corey.
Now they made a deal.
She made a deal. It's like, hey, Dave, let's make a deal that you're going to avoid eating marshmallows for the next month. You're like, Jaemeel, I guess I'm gonna take that deal. All right, it's not hard for you to avoid marshmallows for a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, but come on, like she was hoping that Corey was a secret lawyer or billionaire or something like that, and then it just turns out his brother was 17th place on an obscure Big Brother Survivor season.
Who won that season?
Marianne
won that season.
Remember how that initially was going to be like the showmance of Marianne and Zach? Marianne had the hots for Zach.
Wow.
But then she goes on to win the season and she can't even remember Zach anymore.
Zach who?
Zach Werdenberger?
You see Zach, he's there. He's like, Marianne, remember me? You said you liked me. He's like, who is? She looks at security. It's like, remove that man.
Who is this man? How did he get my set? So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they hit it off. I'm not sure.
Maybe they did.
Comment here from BB. America mentioned that Kesar got snowed in the same deal, like the pressure cooker deal.
She knew the potential. Yeah. She didn't want to get Kesard, but
why? Because this would be like some kind of a curse that making the deal in the pressure cooker would then there'd be like a supernatural effect here where she would get Kesard.
Just understand that if you make a deal, the person could just back out of it. Because
they're not binding, they're not contracts.
Yeah, they're like, was it verbal contracts are as strong as the paper they're written on. So
right, especially in the Big Brother game where you're completely allowed to lie. You can say, even if you give somebody like, here's my wedding ring, or even my fake wedding ring, or whatever. Even if you're not married, like.
See, what's Johnny Fairplay? What's Johnny Fairplay played? I think everyone should at the very least question any type of deal or anything that people, swear on, right? Going forward.
Well, if I just because of Johnny Fairplay, like how a lot of people have had like a grandmother or grandfather die while they're in the house. Like I'd be like, but did your grandfather really die, or are you just making it up like Johnny Fairplay? But
I would like Big Brother didn't announce it, so therefore, or you didn't get called into the diary room, so I'm not counting it. So
checks can bounce in the Big Brother house. You can make anything up about yourself.
Yeah,
you could be like a secret lawyer or billionaire. What if you made that up about yourself? Like, hey, America, I'm actually a billionaire tech mogul, but it's completely a lie, right? And then
Joe Millionaire.
Right, you're Joe Millionaire, or you're like, guess what? I am the half brother of Ariana Grande, or whatever you kind of want to throw out, whether that be true or not. You're Denzel Washington's sister, if you're Felicia. You can't unsee it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, I maybe that's something else I want to talk back to Jared, because this man. Okay, like first of all, the spelling. Was so bad. I have a whole.
I don't understand this.
I have a whole 40-second clip about it. Him not understanding the word puzzle of golden. Like, Jaemeel, is there anything we can diagnose in this man? Is there help we can get him?
What is his job again?
Exterminator.
Oh, Lord.
I think he might have gotten exposed to some of the noxious fumes of these chemicals.
Possibly. It's just terrible.
It was
embarrassing. He's like, oh, maybe I should look at the riddle. He's like, Dodoy?
Yeah, I think he might take after his father more so than his mother. It's just the feeling I'm getting. Yeah, okay. The showman's here with Suri, or not with Suri, Blue. But Blue, no, but then he's telling Blue about it. In bed, but claiming it's Felicia, my mother, but he won't pinky swear on it. And like Blue's kind of figured this all out anyway.
His mother is in the house, he says.
Yeah, well, so what if I have a relation in the house? Maybe it's my mother, And then he's like, well, she's like, that could only realistically be like two people. So like,
it's Izzy. It's
Izzy. Izzy's my mother. Even though she's like 5 seconds older than me. How much older is Izzy? Izzy's 32 and Jared is 25, so they're 7 apart. But
there you go.
Yeah.
could have adopted him when he was 20, when she was 22.
I suppose she could have. It might be Suri or Felicia, just throwing it out there. It's Bowie Jane is like the next potential. But you're telling me that Bowie Jane is Jared's mom? Like that would be a big bombshell.
He starts talking with an Australian
accent. All of a sudden, good day. I'm actually Bowie Jane's son. Like the whole house is like, what? Like that would be an amazing. I would love if they kept that from us an entire season.
Oh my god!
Just to drop that on us.
I would laugh. I would laugh so hard.
There's no way they would. Julie would have to tell everybody. Guess what? Bowie Jane is Jared's mom. You never would have.
You know what? Wait, if whoever gets voted out this week, when we kind of know, it'd be hilarious. It's like there's a secret in the house. I know. Bowie Jane is Jared's mom. Julius,
you cannot see it once it's been thrown out there. Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
But come on, like I don't know. Jared's like, I'm gonna have to tell her at some point because I don't want her to break up with me and say like, why did you tell me your mom was in the house? I think that's why he does this. Is ultimately he's crushing on her.
Which, oh my gosh, it's so nonsensical, especially when you have a girlfriend at home.
Yeah, and she's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, they don't explicitly say boyfriend or girlfriend. They have someone back home. Which
maybe they used to, perhaps.
Well, after the way they're acting, definitely. I don't think
he might want to marry Blue in the house, like for all at this rate. Like this is getting serious.
So okay. We'll wait till spoilers.
Okay, we'll wait till spoilers. Okay, so Jared and his performance. Okay, Jaemeel, like I'll play the clip here, but you can unmute yourself while the clip is played here. Jared, let's just have a look here, Jared.
At this point, I don't even know if some of these words that I'm putting together are actual words.
No, how do you not?
Why would you think that?
No. Endoggle?
To all my English teachers, please
Like-
forgive me. All right, now I'm desperate and I'm just trying to figure it out.
No, you get no forgiveness. Elonged? That might be a
I'm
word.
starting to realize that I actually have to incorporate
Well,
the
not with
riddle on
that
the wall.
spelling, though.
Duh.
He's staring at the riddle.
Suddenly
staring
it
at
clicks
the
in my
riddle.
head. The word is golden.
Oh,
Suddenly.
man. That was tough.
That wasn't tough. It wasn't tough.
That was tough.
It wasn't
Okay.
tough.
I didn't like that they didn't show all the times. I think that he deserved the shame of whatever his time was, which I'm sure was bad. It was no 2 minutes and 20 seconds like Red put
10
up.
minutes.
It was probably a full 10 minutes. Yeah, at least, right? Because like Blue gives us a confession, like, I hope that Jared wins. It takes me off. And we're like, no, that's not happening.
Nope.
It was kind of incredible watching Red and Jag. Both of them went through very fast and really brought off. And who was third place? Oh, Cameron. Right? Yeah. Red ends up winning it, even though Red doesn't. I guess if Jag had won, he would have taken himself down, and then they would have had to have done something, right? I would have rather that. I would have much rather Jag have won this veto tonight. I think that I would have been more interested to see what Cameron would have done as a replacement nomination, even if he doesn't want to take
as a viewer. But if you're part of the Chillers,
that's not the Chillers' long-term plan. These two men who, I never understand. They go up in the HOH room, and they're not the first to do this, but like two men watching, like talking to each other with sunglasses on indoors, aviators on. I just didn't understand it.
Because they look cool.
I guess they're cool. Who am I to say they're not? But
they aren't. I will. People, hey, you could say I'm uncool, but okay, sure, we could smell our own, and definitely getting a whiff of the sames from Cameron and Red.
Cameron and Red. I don't know. Like, here we go. Sorry,
Wait, just before we go further, the juxtaposition of Jared and Cerie's intelligence is striking.
Yeah,
it is. It is. It is.
The Cerie. Yeah, no. This is like. Can we get a DNA test? But they look alike, as Heisem had already pointed out. But yeah, here's what these two men,
and they're dressed the same. I'm like, come on.
Is this? Why are they dressed the same?
I don't know.
Oh man, they're both drinking like some kind of a fruit smoothie, but one's got the strawberry, one's got the blueberry. Like that's the only
it comes across as so lame.
It should be the other way around. Red should have the strawberry and Cameron should have the blueberry. But whatever.
It's legit cringe, in my opinion.
I don't know. These two, okay, they're. I think have we talked about everything in the episode proper? Because I think that we should get into spoilers potentially. But like before we do, what was there anything left out of this episode that happened during that particular week that we should know?
Because this episode really covers everything up until Monday.
Yeah, probably Monday.
Let's see. Cameron and Red think that Cerie is trustworthy.
Days 24 to 27 is what the synopsis says. So
let's see. So Jag tells Cerie about the members of their alliance because America told Jag because America found out from Corey, right? And Corey supposedly found it out from Jared. So Felicia and Cerie are going to talk to Jared about it. It looks like up this point that they're gonna vote up Blue. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. I'm
No
stuck
worries.
in a-
No worries.
So,
Okay, but
Jared
there's one
Jared
thing
tells Blue. Jared tells Blue, obviously, that his mom's in the house, as you kind of mentioned, and it was shown in the thing. Everyone assumes it's Felicia because of the whole "I knew I saw Felicia somewhere" kind of thing.
Denzel Washington's sister.
Yes.
Right.
Blue and Jared are planning what they're going to do post BB, right? Being together.
They're getting married. Having babies. Making Suri grandma.
Also, Jared asked Blue if he could wish his ex significant other a happy birthday. If it's all right.
Who asked that?
Jared asked Blue if he could wish his ex-girlfriend, his now ex-girlfriend, a happy birthday.
How so? But she was his girlfriend when he went in the house?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if she's gonna get the happy birthday. So let me get this straight. He goes into the house in this relationship, but then he meets Blue and he's like, okay, guess what? We're broken up. Has he said this to the camera? Like, hey, but don't worry, I'm gonna wish you a happy birthday with Blue's permission, of course. Like, I wouldn't wish you a happy birthday unless she said yes,
I don't know.
I don't think I would appreciate that happy birthday too much. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack. The only thing we didn't talk about from the episode proper was the fact that Matt was the rat and spilled everything to Suri after Cameron and Red tried to sort of pitch that new alliance that involved Corey and America. I can't even remember what the name of it was, but I don't know, everyone wants to work with Suri. I guess it just kind of talks about what we were talking about earlier, was that Suri feels like she's everyone's orbiting around her, much like Paul did in Big Brother 19.
Yeah.
BB asking Jaemeel, where are your eyeglasses or contact lenses?
I still have my contact lens. It's in this eye. I only have one because unfortunately contact lenses don't work on this eye. So I'm working with one tire. I'm driving with one tire.
Have you thought about a monocle?
Unfortunately, I cannot use any type of glasses. I do hope that later on this year I'll be going in for surgery to help improve my eyesight, which would indicate that I would get a cornea transplant. So yeah, so they would.
My ex-wife had that.
Cut my eye, take it out, put another one, sew it back in.
Yeah, I remember when she had that done. It was. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope you do. Yeah. But it's very safe.
It's very safe. Yes, very safe. But they're still cutting out a part of my body and replacing it with another one.
Yes.
So
it's like an organ transplant. It's just a small, little, but very delicate. Yes.
Yes. So it'll be fun streaming during that time period because I'll be with an eye patch. I'll be Sammy Davis Jr.ing it up, as they say.
As you say.
Yeah. They'll call me Candyman during that time period. Where all the pirate jokes.
Oh, I was thinking like Tony Todd Candyman.
Don't say my name 3 times in the mirror.
Yeah. Be my victim.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure I have that somewhere. But why not? Why wouldn't I go get that? As Candyman.
Be my victim.
You legit.
I legit had that on the board. Oh yeah.
They chased Candyman through the town to Cabrini Green, where they proceeded to saw off his right hand with a rusty blade. But this was just the beginning of his ordeal.
I'm just flabbergasted that you would have Candyman quotes.
I have Candyman from the movie quotes. Yes,
Why?
But, just so I can play clips, I can just get Tony Todd.
I want my fucking money.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tony Todd. Oh my God.
Yeah, I like some Tony Todd whenever I can get it.
To be fair, I don't even have that much spoilers because, as I mentioned before, I've been trying to catch up. This week and a half has been extremely tough for me, and I'd even watched the pressure cooker live. I had to recap it later on. It was and I've been waiting how many years for the pressure cooker, and I couldn't even watch it live. It was somewhat embarrassing as a BB fan myself. And
Hey, life happens, man. That's all good.
Life has been happening a lot for the last couple of weeks.
It comes and goes,
Yes.
So,
yes.
yes. But and hey, just while I was on Tony Todd,
I shall try some of your burned, replicated bird meat.
Tony Todd is great. Tony Todd, Keith David, who else? Shane McMahon, not Shane McMahon. What's his name from John Wick and
Lance Riddick.
Well, Lance Riddick, yes, but also what's his name? Shane
McGowan?
No, he plays the owner of the Continental. He calls him Jonathan. John Wick.
He's always like, "Hello, Jonathan." I'm like, "Is that his name? Is his name Jonathan Wick?"
Like, you just want that Morgan Freeman. You want these guys to just chew up exposition because they're just so great.
Yeah.
Replace the Big Brother voice guy with either of them, please. Well, Lance Riddick, we can't. Rest in peace. And we lost Bob Barker.
We still got Tony Todd though. So
Tony Todd is still here. He's still
going.
Tony Todd is still here.
He was on The Flash. He was Zoom. And he's been one of my longtime favorites.
The voice of Zoom.
He's in Star Trek Online right now, where they're playing this mission, and you're in the arena of Sompek, where you have, and he's like in the announcer, and he's like, "It looks like a greater challenge is in order. So be it." And then like a big monster comes out, and then because he's Kern in the game.
Would you play a Big Brother online game? Like not Sequester, but like if it was like a role playing Big Brother game. Online.
Potentially, just if I could understand more how it worked, so
okay. Well, let's say it actually uses the same system as Star Trek Online, right? But
same system, so I have a little cartoon man that I control and I remote control around.
Yeah, but you're in a house where you can only go certain areas, and
so it's like The Sims, but it's like, but it's Big Brother.
Yeah,
Sims Big Brother. That could be fun, I guess. It depends how you can talk to each other or not, or if you have to type to each other, or if you're able to actually voice talk.
If it's like the circle,
hey, circle, send emojis to so and so to Lance Bass, please.
Send friend emoji, fire emoji, send.
Who's Tony Todd? Come on, it's one of the best ever. Go watch Candyman. Go watch. What's that one?
The Rock.
The Rock. Go see The Rock. I don't listen to that soft shit.
You're the Rocket Man. I don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Soft shit.
I don't listen to you. You listen to Elton John. I listen to that soft shit.
BB, definitely check out. He is one of those great voices, character actors. You should definitely check him out. There's probably a Tony Todd supercut of just him chewing up lines. It's great. Check him out.
And he was like the young Jake Sisko in like that Star Trek episode where it's a real tearjerker episode. He can do some dramatic acting, that guy.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, there's a lot of these character actors that you give them the right role, they'll hit it out of the park, right? Jeffrey Combs gets work for a certain reason, and it's because whatever you need done, he'll definitely just hit it out of the park.
Yeah, another example. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, B Beans is okay. He's got to check out.
Definitely. I know that isn't Big Brother related, but hey, who knows? Maybe he might be on Celebrity Big Brother down the line.
That'd be awesome. If Tony Todd was on Celebrity Big Brother, I'm all there. So
he'd be your number one draft pick.
He'd be my number one. I'd be like, "Where's my fucking money? Like, come on, Tony Todd, let's go. Let's go get this. And on that note, I think we have to go to the spoiler section. But yeah,
do you have any spoilers?
I thought you would.
Give me
Okay, I just want to talk about the vote tomorrow. Let's
go.
ahead.
Let's go.
Okay, so spoilers. If you don't want to hear anything about like what they might show us tomorrow, then get out of here. But if you'd like to know, and really, there's no reason to leave, then stay around. Okay, and getting into it. The spoiler warning.
Buffalo, New York zone.
Brittany.
Brittany.
Season 23.
Yeah. I guess Blue's going. I guess
Blue's going. Blue.
I guess. Yeah. People are trying to, and this is not necessarily coming from Cameron and Red. This is from the people voting, and they're trying to, Blue. From what
It's
I've
just
caught up
Blue's
to,
more expendable. Is that why?
But if you're from Cerie's point of view, right, and company, wouldn't you want to get rid of Blue? It kind of gets Jared focused again. You have Jag, who's a competitor and a target that Cameron and Red would want to go after. You have someone who would actually want to go after Jared and Cameron and Red as well.
Here's my question: what does Cerie specifically want?
She mentioned keeping Jag.
Keeping Jag.
Yeah.
But that can't be what Jared wants.
Of course, but
so are they at odds? Are Jared and Cerie at odds?
So the conversation was, at the time that I was reading, was Cerie, Izzy, and Felicia were talking about how we're going to talk Jared into voting for Blue.
Okay, well, there's no way. Will he do this? Will he vote out? You think he should? I don't think he should. I think he should be like, well, I can't vote her out.
If
she's the showman, nobody would begrudge him at least a sympathy vote.
If Blue voted out Riley, Jag voted out Riley because they all agreed voting with the house.
They might be getting married, Jaemeel. Here, Jared and Blue might be the biggest thing to ever happen to CBS and reality TV couples. Like until
they're the new what's it called? Good.
They're the Nicole and Victor. Come on.
So she's gonna tame Victor. She's gonna
tame Victor. Yes, but only after the season's over. Yes. We'll never see it on the show. They're the new like Mickey and Beth. Well, anyway,
yeah.
I don't think you should have to vote her out or be convinced to vote her out. But so what? So is Cerie telling Jared we're gonna keep Blue?
Cerie does a good job of not necessarily like the situations go where like they discuss and like Felicia's like, oh, I'll talk to Jared, which is always good because like if Cerie was in a mode where she's like, oh, I'll talk to Jared, it would mean that there would be like a familiar type of connection, right? But when Felicia volunteers, it kind of lends like truth to Jared's statement if anyone asks, right? That Felicia does that conversation piece, does that bridge, because they do a good job of not necessarily outing themselves in terms of their how close they are.
Does Felicia know that Cerie is?
No,
she still doesn't know.
Still doesn't know.
But Izzy, okay, so all this time that Izzy and Cerie spend with her, this never has been leaked once in all this time, in 30 days in the house. That's pretty impressive.
From Izzy's standpoint, not from Cerie, because we know Cerie would keep the secret, but Izzy, on the other hand.
Right. I guess that I'm more impressed that Izzy has sort of managed to do that. Has Cerie had to sort of like wrangle in Izzy at any point?
Not in terms of this. In terms of Izzy just being difficult, right? That she's had to put a lot of work in terms of telling people, okay, you need to have a conversation with Izzy, like with Jag, with Corey, with America, with America, right? All these people at odds with Izzy, and Cerie has had to try and bridge that gap with Riley, with Jag.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, I kind of want somebody to go after Izzy, but I don't. I'm not sure who I want it to be. I would love it if Cerie's the one comes for her head eventually, but that's gonna be something
Well,
to see.
I would figure that Izzy would need to be a backdoor in a double eviction.
BB reporting here. Jared and Cerie had to talk about voting Blue out, and it got heated. Pretty heat. This is great drama. This is great TV here. Like, come on.
Now
the mother and son over the girlfriend.
Would you be disappointed if it isn't shown tomorrow?
If what's not shown?
The argument.
I think so. Yeah. Like, how can you not want that on the show? Like, because I think that's interesting. I think that, if they're at odds about this particular thing, I think that that's good TV and a good story of like trying to remember how this all played out, because it's a classic story.
Yep. But also everyone's siding with Cerie, right? It makes sense to get rid of Blue. Do you think it makes sense to get rid of Blue?
Do I think it makes sense to get rid of Blue? No.
Really? You think it makes more sense to get rid of Jag?
He's the bigger competitor, so yeah, like it makes more sense to get rid of him.
Yeah, but on their side, there's no who's the competitor on your side? You're relying on Matt for everything. In terms of physical.
Who are we talking about? From whose perspective? Who controls the power of this vote?
Right now, Cameron and Red control that power. Well, sorry. Okay, I understand what you mean. Like, who's voting and who's able to control the vote. In this case, yes, it is Cerie, right? Cerie and company.
So if Cerie wants, I guess ultimately coming down from her perspective, she's really driving the bus here. So I can see her wanting to work with Jag more than Blue. Yeah, I can see that. But for Cerie, but for the rest of the house, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It seems like the natural vote out here would be Jag.
If you're Corey, would you rather Blue or would you rather Jag?
If you're Corey, I guess maybe rather
Jag.
Rather Jag, okay. But
right.
Who else is there from Bowie Jane's perspective?
Bowie Jane's is going to work with Cameron and Red, so that's a non-factor.
Who's Cameron's target of these two?
Jag.
So this would be defying Cameron.
Correct, but has he done a good enough job to express who specifically he wants? We don't get that impression.
What about Red? What's Red going to do? Is he going to go with the flow, or are you going to vote based on what Cameron wants?
He's going to do what Cameron wants because they're in an alliance together.
And would they potentially blindside Red and leave him out of the vote because Cameron won't vote anyway?
They know that Red is with Cameron, so it's going to make Legend 25 pretty difficult.
Right. Could the unraveling of Legend 25 happen in tomorrow's live vote? The result once it's over, is that the end of Legend 25?
But at the same time, if Red doesn't win HOH, it's a moot point.
If Red doesn't win HOH, yes, but yeah, you're right. Well, he could always win veto this week, even if he doesn't win HOH. But
then one of them will be up, one of them will be up, and the other one will be taken down, and then Bowie Jane will most likely be on the block besides Cameron.
Right. So, but Red could win HOH. So,
yeah. So you could cross that bridge when you get to it.
Fair enough. Okay. Well,
if they go, you saw how Jared was acting with Blue, right? We need to separate that showmance, and Jared seems he's willing to work with you. Blue didn't seem so we got rid of Blue.
Yeah.
Stupid lies that anyone who's thinking rationally was like, that doesn't make any sense. But it works well enough in this case.
I think Blue's way more expendable. I don't. I think Jag's a more interesting player for me.
I agree.
And a character on the show, so I would rather him stay. But I think if I was in the game, I don't know. Well, I guess if I was in the game, I think I'd rather work with Jag. So I guess I would also vote Blue in that scenario. But anybody who just wants to eliminate a potential competitor from competitions, it seems like the right thing to do.
At the same time, prior to this week, and one of the reasons why Heisem, there was no chance of Heisem being changed, was Felicia, especially, and Izzy were looking at the numbers, and 2 weeks in a row they voted out women, and they were determined that they had to vote on a man last week, and it was kismet that it was Heisem that was on the target. Right. For them to go back and vote out another woman again just seems. I think they would give them pause. So maybe closer to the vote, they would have second thoughts and say, "Hey, maybe we do need to get rid of Jag because we need to keep the level of the amount of women in the house similar, like at a decent level."
Well, we've lost 2 men and 1 woman so far, right? Plus Luke. So
is it?
Riley's the only woman voted out.
Yes.
But Heisem and
so are they willing to vote on another woman?
I forgot about Kirsten.
Yeah, so it's 2 women, 2 men.
Remember Kirsten?
Yes, my was her first pick. My only pick.
Your only pick. Yeah, you took her overall at 9. But then you got Suri, and you and Daryl got the Suri bonus because there were 17 house guests in our draft list.
So both Daryl and myself are down to Suri.
It's not a bad pick to have. I would love to have Suri in this draft.
She's not winning this game.
She might.
If she wins this game, this is an absolute embarrassment to anyone who's playing this game.
Potentially, yes, but I think it's a likely scenario. I don't think that's impossible to see this happen whatsoever. It's even more and more likely each week that goes on here. Quite frankly, because she's still got her son, and she's gonna cut his showman's throat. This is great TV. They can't get rid of Suri yet. The producers will throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. They'll say, "No, you can't get rid of Suri right now."
Okay, we have the power of invincibility.
She has, she has the cloak of invisibility. She has the whatever magic power they want to vote in.
Did you vote for the power of invincibility?
U.S. residents only.
Oh, you had to call in. You had to call? I didn't vote. You had to call?
No, I don't even think we can if we try to vote. But from Canada,
the 4 people competing. Did you want to know who's competing?
Oh, yes. Is that revealed?
Yes. Question.
It's secret though, right? They're not supposed to tell anybody else.
No, they have to compete. They have to compete.
But the 4 don't tell the other house guests.
Yeah, they told people people can't keep that secret. Okay. So Suri, Matt, Corey, and Jag.
It's Corey is the surprise, I think. Of that.
Really?
Just who did we say the other night? Who did we say on Thursday was I think those are mostly what we said on Thursday.
To me, that makes sense. Not Jared, not Izzy, not Felicia.
I think Felicia was the one we thought would be in there.
Really?
Because we saw her as maybe being as
I think people like Jag because of his potential. Matt definitely, Suri definitely. Corey is the super fan. Of course they would vote for him.
Corey is the super fan. But there have been other super fans who haven't been that popular. He's got that Zach Wardenberger fandom. Getting behind him. It's a big secret. But
Nicole from Long Island with Clef, he has that energy.
Okay. So those are the 4 competing, though. So Jag, I think, was also someone we thought could be there. Matt was something we definitely thought would be there.
Yeah, Matt's definitely. People if I had to guess who's going to win America's favorite right now, if Matt doesn't win, I could definitely see Matt winning.
Matt's a big contender. If he goes deep into the season, he's almost certainly going to win. If he doesn't win the game itself.
Yep.
Although, was it last year where somebody won the America's favorite? Taylor. She won it both, which had never happened before.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a bit of a move by the producers to.
I think that you should not win that if you win the game.
I don't think they normally would do that, but I think because I feel they think bad for Taylor because Taylor got a lot of bad. She had a lot of controversy surrounding the early days of that season, if you remember. So.
I guess if you want to stick it to the people in the house who people didn't like Taylor that much, and then she wins America's House. She's the first ever person to win it, and win the competition.
Yeah.
What was that? What is that? What? Sorry, I just hear a drill just going out.
I heard
off
it
in my
too.
house. Is it that loud?
I heard it. Yeah. It was like a woo woo.
Okay. I think that might mean that it's time for me to go.
Okay. Well, is there anything else with that competition? Yeah, I hear it too. Woo. It's very distant, but yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I
someone's
guess,
drilling into my house.
okay. Well, this might be the apocalypse. We better sign off for the night, guys. Thanks for being with us here on this podcast covering episode 12 of Big Brother 25, the veto episode. We're gonna be back tomorrow night, talking about the eviction. Episode 13 of the series. We'll hope you will join us for our live stream. Was it a hurricane siren?
No, there's no hurricanes up here. Well, actually, there was one, a couple like cities away, but that was just one. It just tore off some roofs.
Right.
But we don't get hurricanes up here.
Yeah, hurricanes in the house. They went back and forth about who to vote for. The twist seemed to have caused them not to want to rock the boat. The twist of this competition. Okay.
Sorry.
The siren's going off. We better sign off. Guys, here on the channel, we cover other shows like Survivor and Big Brother Canada. Check out our playlists. Check out our different feeds. Subscribe, like the channel. If you didn't know, we also talk about Marvel sometimes on this channel. Like we just talked about Secret Invasion. Spoilers, we didn't really like it, but we talked about it. If you want to hear our reviews of the different Marvel things, you can check that out. We're also part of a federation of podcasts. We call it the United Federation of Podcasts, which feature different channels and podcasts you can check out, like Live Long, a podcast where we talk about Star Trek. Right, we mentioned that a few times tonight. My son Eamon's got a podcast where he talks about music called Eamon on Track.
Join the Facebook group.
Join the Facebook group. Trivial Debates is a show where we argue. There's points, there's movies and TVs. Most recently, we talked about The Office. We had
great episode.
Yeah, even like I broke it down, even like just the TV round, which they talked about what was the best episode of The Office, and so you can just check out that 10-minute clip on our channel there. There's the X-Rated podcast with Davan and Andre, talk about X-Men, the animated series back from the 90s, that great cartoon. They're doing all kinds of interviews, reviewing those old episodes, talking to the cast and the producers and creators. Check that show out. Great graphic histories.
They did Nightcrawler, the voice of Nightcrawler.
They had the voice of Nightcrawler on. Yeah, and Andre also does his own podcast where he interviews all kinds of people. Like, I know. And Hold Up, a movie podcast with Andre. Sorry, not Andre. Andre doesn't go that one. That's Murphy and Davan who do that one. So they talk about movies. They were talking about time travel movies with Jeff. Did you watch that Hold Up episode?
No, but a lot of the conversations from that episode sprinkled into our chats. And,
yeah, it came in. It like invaded the Star Trek chat where like all of a sudden we're talking about all these time travel movies. I was just like, I woke up. It's like you have 200 notifications. I was like, what? It was Andre and Davan bringing their podcast into our Star Trek chat of all things.
Yeah, there was a lot of strong opinions about it.
Yeah, so that there'll have to be a Patreon to get that kind of content to be in the chats and find out what the hell. That should be like a thing we offer to patrons
on Discord. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you want to hear Davan and Andre just go back and forth in a chat, arguing with each other like that? That will cost you money. We'll charge you for that. That would be the greatest hustle ever if we could get that going. Okay. Well, thanks everybody, and until next time.
Don't.
I think I have to. Okay.
No,
we have to.
See you on the flip side.
For safekeeping, whether it's the veto or some daggone condoms, everybody in the Big Brother house is looking for some protection. Ah!